Let's go. It's day 2 of the quarterfinals. We're back here in Florida right now. I'm super excited to see what's going down. We're over here at Redline Fitness. We gotta get hyped. Come on now. We gotta get going for these athletes.
Is what they call moving day, even though we don't know any scores. So usually on day 2, like you're like, hey, we need to make up for a bad day 1 or keep plugging away from a good day 1. Since we don't know scores from anyone yet, it's more just keep doing what we're doing, stay on this solid train. We all had a good day yesterday, and we're freaking excited for these 2 tests. There'll be 2 shorter ones today, and that means minimal error, lots of hurt, and make it happen. So on the first one, I just want to play my game plan. I don't want to fail a handstand push-up, and I want to go really fast on the lunges. Being a taller guy, the handstand push-ups are something I work on a lot, and I've come a long way in, so I'm excited to prove myself there. Later tonight, I want to take the dub against all the brutes today in that workout tonight, so we'll see what happens. I just stared down in the face.
What workout you think you're taking the dub in?
The 2 after this?
Both of them?
You always have to believe in yourself. I pretend like you don't exist.
Gym, we're getting ready for workout number 1. So it's a handstand push-up lunge workout. So
How are you feeling about it?
I feel good. My low back's a little sore from the GHD yesterday and core's pretty blasted, but the lunges, 50 pounds, dumbbells are pretty light, so should be good there. But that was really good. Everybody hit some PRs, I believe, on at least 1 lift. So I overhead squatted 300 pounds, which was like 20 or 25 pound PR for me, so I was stoked about that. Me and Matt kind of identified a strategy for each workout yesterday, and for me on this one, it's just going to be break the lunges smart from the beginning so you can go big on that final set of 30, and then just break smart on the first 2 sets of handstand push-ups so you can sell out at the end. So there's no point in standing at the wall if you have to break that last set. So just try to get there and then go unbroken.
We finished day 1 pretty late yesterday, right? We got the workouts at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We finished our weightlifting one. It has a clean, a bench press, and an overhead squat. Usually when we walk away from things like that, not everyone is very happy with it. But it's important to note that when it comes to workouts like that, you have expectations coming in, and you have to be able to make a quick adjustment and audible, right? Because after the clean, everything else is now pre-fatigued going in. Workout number 2 yesterday was the pistols, GHD sit-ups into ring muscle-ups. You know, what we're doing with everybody in here, because we do have a lot of athletes competing in the quarterfinals, is we're continuing to shift their times, right? So if you're in heat 1 on workout 1, and you're gonna be in heat 2. On workout 3, you're gonna be in heat 3. So everyone knows here it's an advantage to watch people go before you and see where their limiters are and make a final quick adjustment before you go. So in order to keep it fair across the board for all these athletes, that's what we're doing. Which brings us into the start of day 2 today.
My lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah.
What does it take to measure a rope?
Apparently, like 5 right now. I offered to climb up there as part of my warm-up and just like tape it myself. And they're like, no, Pete, don't do that. I feel like me climbing up there would have been faster though. I could have measured all the ropes in this room faster than me.
And then you have a base. If I have shoes on, you can basically go without hands.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try this. I'm gonna leave all the CrossFit stuff to you.
The real hard part is trying to climb it with no hands. So a handless rope climb. You have to just use your feet. It hasn't been done by any man to this day, but I'll try and be the first one day. Just feet? I'd probably tear up my feet and get calloused.
broke the lunges from the beginning, which was the game plan. So I just went 20, set them down, shake, 20, set them down, shake, 10. And then I was fast on the wall and just did 11, 11, 8 on the handstand. So 3 sets was the plan. And then with the 40 walking lunge, Dom and I decided it'd be better just to pick them up quick, do 10, set them down, turn around. Pick them up quick. And so it's a little bit slower on those than I thought. I needed to breathe between sets. But I was good at just kind of managing the breathing throughout the reps. So then when I got on the wall for deficit, I think I held 4 or 5 sets on that. My plates kind of slid around, so Dom had to grab some plates and throw them on so they wouldn't spread out. But, and then just finished strong with 3 sets on the overhead lunge, quick break between, and then went 4-3-3 on the strict handstand push-up. So overall, really happy how I handled the 30 and 10 at the end there, which is big sets.
So, all right, so going to this workout for you, right? We've been working a ton of handstand, a ton of pressing.
For sure.
Let's just talk about the 50 dumbbell walking lunge real quick.
Yeah, 100%. So that's one thing with the lunging where it's new this year with the steps instead of the feet. When it's usually a measure distance, I have an advantage because I have long strides, but now it's like, hey, no matter what length your stride is, it's going to be the same. So I rather didn't focus on the stride, I focused on shortening it, not lengthening it.
So we got the 30 handstand push-up. What was your goal?
My goal was to split into 3 sets and make them really fast and efficient. Yeah.
I thought you did.
Yeah.
Going on the 40 front rack lunges, did anything change from here to here, or was it still mostly quads?
Mostly quads. Arms were still very fresh at that point, which is good.
20 deficit handstand push-ups. We get in there. What do you think initially? What happened?
I didn't set my deficit how I usually do toward the outside of the box. And so that's one thing for me as I'm learning in all these quarterfinals tests is make sure I set it how I individually need it. And I learned that, hey, those can fall apart quick if you don't do what you plan on or you don't do what you regularly do. So make it in your condition.
To make it more of like a rhythm thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So we get over to the overhead walking lunges. I thought you did really well with it.
Thank you.
Very smart splitting them up the way that you did.
Yeah.
I was super happy on how you finished the 10 strict handstand push-up in 3 sets.
For sure.
What were you thinking when you got into your first set?
When I got in the first set of 4, you said one thing. You said focus on your rhythm on that first set, on that first rep. And so I focused really hard on just being explosive, and that set the tone for every rep from there. Still working on cycle speed on those and making sure like each one is really quick as possible because like the cycle speed matters. But I'm very happy with how my shoulders held up in that. Still a lot of progress to make, but I'm very happy.
For sure.
Thanks, brother.
What were your thoughts first on the 50 walking?
We talked about if I felt like there was some muscle failure, just like put it down, just be smart. But really the only thing that I actually felt was like my legs, which I knew were not really a factor in this workout. So didn't see a reason to put it down there with handstand push-ups coming up.
So traditionally with 30 handstand push-ups, you got some of the best handstand push-ups in the game. So being smart there, what do you think about it?
We talked about going 20-10, but I tried to not listen to him, so I went 21-9. Which was no point to do that, but that's what I did.
And I just shrugged it out. I was like, all right, whatever.
Well, did you think I was going to go to 30?
I saw when you went to 21, I'm like, fuck, man, we're about to figure some shit out, huh? And then you dropped it, I'm like, good.
9 sounds a lot better than 10 to me, though.
Yeah.
So.
How did those front rack lunges go for you?
My right side, I got it in like kind of a shitty position to start. So first few reps, I was like fucking with it. I was messing around with it. And then I was 20 reps in. I'm like, I don't feel bad. I don't want to break now. Got to 30. I'm like, shoulders are tightening up a little. So I'm going to put it down here knowing I only have 10. And it's just, I chose to break. I didn't have to break.
Is it almost like the blood pooling in your shoulders, like staying in the shoulders, not like circulating?
It really wasn't much shoulders at that point. It was more legs. But I was just thinking of, this is halfway, and I know it's going to get very intensive on the shoulders after that.
So we get to the deficit handstand push-up.
10 was 8. I actually held it overhead just because I got a crappy rep. And then I was like, I'm just going to go to 10 and then do 2 more sets because I know the overhead lunges were going to be the biggest challenge for me.
So we got through the overhead lunges. What did you think about the last 10 strict handstand push-ups?
Truthfully, dude, it was so much triceps. For me, I don't know if it was the way I held the overhead lunge, but it felt like I was doing like a skull crusher. Shoulders were burning, but triceps were feeling bad. And then I did 2 sets of 3, and I was gonna go 2-2, just trying to really minimize rest, knowing that was the last thing I had. I got to 8, and I was like, I might as well go for it. Yesterday I failed my 9th muscle up in the last round. I wasn't about to fail this one again today, so just had to go for it.
Going into this workout, we've been practicing handstand push-ups quite a bit, pressing quite a bit.
Every day.
What were the initial thoughts going on?
Me breaking up like how I needed to get the best time is better than trying to stick with other people's sets and just know myself, do what I can, and just came out with a good time.
So we went into the first set of 50 lunges. What were you feeling on the first set? What was your headspace there?
The lunges were like not even a thing because I knew the handstand push-ups would be the biggest limiter on that workout. But then I finished the set of 50 and I was like, wow, my legs are gonna hurt a lot more than I thought. And like that, knowing like my kip could be limited by that, so understanding and making sure I'm using my hips.
So you were talking about knowing your numbers. What did that look like on the first set of, 30?
Yeah, 30. I know most guys are probably gonna do 2 sets, so I decided to do 3, 12, 10, 8, and then second set, I broke it up into 4, 5 sets because I had a quick adjustment, and I think that paid off.
So we talked a little bit earlier about your lunge and your steps and rhythm. So we're going into front rack lunges. It's 40 front rack lunges. What were you going through at that point?
40 front rack, I was just trying to let it rest and keep my grip loose to take any fatigue out of my arms, and then keeping myself stacked, core tight, just use my legs.
So we saw 2 heats go before you. We saw a little bit of a struggle on the deficit handstand push-ups. What were you thinking from what you were coming in today versus what we saw right before you went?
Originally, I was going to go 10-6-4, thinking that would be fine. We saw some of the other heats struggle with the overhead lunge, so I decided I was going to try and go 6-5-5-4. And I ended up being 3-3 at the end, so an extra set, just because I started to get slow, so I decided to kick down, limit time under tension, and just kick back up again.
Got through the 30 overhead walking lunges with the dumbbells, got back to the strict handstand push-ups. What were you thinking on your first set compared to how you finished?
I knew the very first rep needed to be 1 or 2, and I went for 2 and then I failed. And then I'm really good at doing singles on strict handstand push-ups because I often get to that point. So I just decided fast singles, kick up and down as quickly as possible, and it worked. So.
Pretty good for some of the short arms.
Yeah, short arm gang.
We just finished the lunge handstand push-up workout. It's 1 o'clock right now. We're about to give them a 2.5, 3 hour rest, I believe, somewhere in between, and then start the second groups of workouts. Some of the athletes are going to do the longer workout with the shuttle runs. The other half of the athletes are going to do the sprint workout with the power snatches at the end. I'm excited to see this whole thing go down. I just really want them to be able to strategize and plan out perfectly, so they can just one and done every workout. And I think this helps us the most going into semifinals when it's in an in-person competition and they don't have an option. If they they end up messing up their strategy and pacing over there, then it costs them big time, right? We're talking about missing a chance to go to the CrossFit Games. So we really, really want to hone in right now. And then for me as a coach, working with the athletes, we're not too far away when they create their strategy and where my thought is on their strategy. So we find like a happy medium in between, make sure they're confident with it, and then it gives them their best possible chance to get the best possible outcome.
Did you have a nice break?
Oh man, great break, man. I watched some New Girl, I ate a pear, I drank a protein shake, and I talked to my mama and my brother and my papa.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your f***ing cloud, it be raining now. I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now.
You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that.
So this workout 30 cal row, 20 burpee box jump overs, 10 snatch at 185. I knew this one was just gonna be a sprint, and my strategy for today was pretty much just like come out super aggressive and see if I could hold on. I knew the whole workout was just the snatches for me. So I hit the row more aggressively than I typically would, but like I said, the plan was to go aggressive. And I was able to hit 7 touch and go on the snatch and then 3 singles. And I mean, I was at failure. Like I was squat snatching at like rep 6, so didn't have much in the legs. It wasn't as much like cardio as it was just legs blew up and just little lactic acid. But I got 246, and I don't know what I would have changed. Maybe rode a few seconds slower, but I don't really think that would have saved much time as the barbell didn't slow me down too much. So all in all, solid effort.
I'm alive, but I'm dead.
Looks like you did good.
Thanks, bro. I'll take it. We'll see how much quicker these studs go, and it'll dictate if we get to redo it or not. Honestly, very fun and redoable workout with how short it is. It is one of those, it's like, it's not gonna tax you the day after. It's just intense. Hurts your lungs a bit. Legs are a little bit smashed. Honestly, pumped with it. Like, that's all I could do. I think I do have more on me.
What was the time?
2:56. The best time so far we've seen is 2:35. I bet Dallin will get pretty close to that or beat it. I got some stud training partners, it makes me better and it humbles me. But the belt held up today. The other belt, the natural belt, held up today. And the brain held up today, most importantly. So now I just get to be a cheerer and cheer on my bros while they do some fitness.
What were the thoughts going into it?
It's not long enough for it to actually hurt, so you should go as fast as you can and then see what you can do on the snatches. And I was hoping to go 10, but then they were too slow, and I didn't know if I was actually going to catch it, so it was like 2 singles.
Did coming off that rower, did you feel any fatigue anywhere? Not good. What rep on the box jump did you start to feel like slow?
The goal was like push 12 and then settle back for 8 more to get into the barbell, and then into the barbell. That transition wasn't super fast, but I think I needed it to do 8 touch and go.
Would it have been better to go 8 touch and go, or put Olympic plates on there and go 10 singles?
I don't know.
That
might be like worth doing just to see.
Yeah. Would you have approached the bar quicker knowing that you would have gone singles?
Yeah. So it probably would. We might have to do it again.
Yeah, right. And you feel fine right now too?
I mean, your legs are wobbly after, but like, and you're breathing a little bit, but like 30 seconds later, you're fine.
Brute on 3, 1, 2, 3,